Good morning. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Tanessa Shears. I'm a health, wellness, and weight loss coach for women. My job is to help you find the simple and most effective strategies for getting your life where you want it to be, on the right track and feeling great. We're talking today about the single change I have made to my health that has made the most impact. And specifically, I'm going to tell you what that is and then the 4 biggest impacts that I have experienced as a result of this. And I mean, I have been now officially teaching in the health and fitness industry for 10 years, meaning I've seen it all, I've tried it all, I've been on every food plan, exercise regime, and I have to tell you, this one change that I made completely shifted everything. I'm excited to share it with you. So let's get going. A couple months back, maybe last September, I read a book, and this book was a book that I had been consistently referred to by another author. I was reading a book called Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin, and in that book, like 7 times, she kept referring to this book called Why We Get Fat and What to Do About it by Gary Taubes, and the cover just looks like this. It's a bright red cover, and I read this book because she had referred to it so many times, and this book completely blew everything I thought I knew about health and fitness and weight loss and calories completely out of the water. I mean, it's pretty bold for a book in this day and age to start out with saying calories in, calories out is a myth. And I was like, what? No way. Calories in, calories out is a myth. That's everything I've learned. I have a university degree and a personal training certificate and I'm a nutrition coach that's certified. Like, what do you mean? And this book and all of the books I have read following have single-handedly convinced me to change what I'm doing with my health. And not only has it worked with me, it's worked with my clients. I mean, one of my clients, Christine, is down like 38 pounds. I have a client named Jackie, and she's down 17 pounds. Like, I'm talking massive change. And then the best thing is, like, everybody is seeing massive health results and changes. Okay, are you ready for it? The biggest change that I have made was that I cut out sugar and flour cold turkey. Yes, I did, cold turkey. And now, here's what happens. Most of the time when I'm talking to my clients, or maybe if I'm talking to you right now, and I say, cut out sugar and flour, I know what's going on in here. It's a whole bunch of chatter, and it's saying, girl, you crazy. Sugar and flour, what's the point in living if there's no sugar and flour? Are you kidding? It tastes so good. What do you mean? She's crazy. I get that all the time, and the biggest thing I get is resistance, a big pushback saying, well, I like to do moderation. Okay, I get it. I hear this from clients over and over again until they master the skill of no sugar, no flour. And I want to tell you something. I remember the day that I implemented no sugar, no flour. And I was sitting up in bed and I was reading. And I looked over at my boyfriend and I said, no sugar, no flour. That sounds awful. What do people eat if they don't eat sugar and flour? I mean, we eat pasta 3 times a week. We eat bread for sandwiches and toast every single day. Like, what do people eat if they don't eat sugar and flour? Like, what's left? That sounds awful. No pasta? No bread? No cookies? Why would anybody choose to live like that? Like, that just sounds awful. And that was my thinking. And I remember thinking, like, I'm going to give this a try, but there is no way that this is going to be enjoyable. And there is no way I'm going to stay to this. This is just to see. Little did I know that this single moment, that shift I made, was going to produce more results than I could imagine. And I'm not just talking about physical results, although those were there too. And I want to take you through the 4 things that I have received as a gift from going no sugar, no flour. And you know what? One of the biggest things that I didn't include on this list was one of the biggest gifts that I received was learning how to quiet all the chatter in here. So let's go through this list. The first thing is going to be the obvious thing. You cut out no sugar and flour, you eat way better. When you're not eating pasta 3 or 4 nights a week and you're not eating toast for a snack and crackers and breads and stuff like that, you look at what's left. And what is left is so much bigger than you think, because when you're limited to always, including sugars and flours and cereals and granola bars, you get really stuck in that. But here's the truth. I have had more variety and flavor and taste in my meals since I have said no sugar, no flour, because I am exploring different vegetables. I am eating so many vegetables. I have always struggled to eat vegetables, and I tell you, I don't anymore. I look forward to it. And I eat so much more lean protein, and I have started including fats, healthy fats, nuts, seeds, cream, cheese, avocados, bacon on a regular basis because I have made this change. And I've started exploring new foods and new ways of tasting foods. And then here's something you don't expect. When you say no sugar, no flour, the reason sugar and flour taste so good is because they take substances that occur naturally, like flour comes from wheat, right? And sugar comes from sugar cane. But they take the sugar cane and the wheat and they concentrate it into flour and sugar. So they cause explosions of dopamine in your brain, and they cause explosions on your taste buds. So they taste so good. When you cut these things out, real food starts to taste better. So often when my new clients come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't eat like that. It's so boring. I couldn't eat vegetables all the day. They have no taste. Let me tell you, when you bring your palate back to ground zero and you stop lathering it with sugar and flour all the time, red peppers start to taste really sweet. Mushrooms start to taste really rich. You know, your ground meat start to taste so flavorful. Avocados take on a whole new level. And I cannot tell you what a difference food tastes like when you cut out sugar and flour. And the best thing is when you go back to eating sugar and flour, it's like, so sweet, so sweet. So that is point number one, is that you eat way better. And that makes total sense. I mean, when you take out the garbage, you bring in more room for the good stuff. So that's number one. Number two is going to be the obvious one. My body composition entirely changed. And I want to make it very clear. For me personally, I wasn't on a weight loss journey when I set this out. But I didn't realize that I was carrying body fat in a weird way that has since let go. So I was carrying a lot of it around my hip bones, and it's gone. And I mean, I've lost probably about 8 pounds of body fat, and this wasn't intentional. But now that I see the shift in composition that I have now, I see that I'm at a much healthier shape right now. My boyfriend is down 33 pounds just from implementing this, and he looks fantastic. And I'm not going to tell you something. When you cut out sugar and flour, the goal is not to take out calories and not be eating and be starving yourself. The goal is your calories stay the same. Those sugar and flour calories you take out, you want to be meeting with increased amounts of vegetables and fats and protein. So it's not a calorie restriction thing. In fact, I don't want you to cut out any calories at all. It's changing the composition. And I gotta tell you, this is a whole nother video, but the changes on a hormonal level inside the body are what cause the body fat to release, because you learn how to be fat adapted. And what that means is your body loves burning stored fat as fuel and is not always getting hungry and demanding you to go eat every 2 hours. I can go hours without eating now. I'm completely full. I'm eating all my calories. And I'm leaner than I've ever been in my life with the least amount of effort. It boggles my mind. Okay, so we've talked so far about, the fact that you're eating way better. And we've talked about the fact that your body composition changes, because when you're not eating sugar and flour, you give hormones a chance to rebalance. And I gotta tell you something that I learned from said book that we talked about earlier. Fat loss has so little to do with calories in, calories out, and it has so little to do with exercise. And I hate that to break that to you, because I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what? It's true. It has to do with your ability to regulate your hormones. And we can talk about that in another video. So don't forget, leave a comment below if that's something you want to hear more about in another video. Okay, reason number three, the brain chatter quieted. Oh, when you know that your meals are going to consist of healthy fats, healthy proteins, vegetables, nuts and seeds, there's less brain chatter around the whole like, oh, well, should I eat bad today or should I not eat bad today? Should I go and have this today or should I not? I mean, you become so a part of the healthy lifestyle you're living that there's no longer that, do you know what I'm talking about? Like when you're having that day, you're like, I really want to eat that, but do I really want to eat that? But then, okay, well, then I won't. And I feel restricted and I feel deprived. And that all that chatter that goes on up there, gone. Gone. Because I'm not fighting with myself about eating healthy this week or being on the health kick or on the bandwagon, because this is just my life and it's easy and it's not a struggle. But I do want to say something. I have not cut out flour and sugar completely. You dang well bet there are days on the weekends where I enjoy some of my favorite treats, but they are planned. They have a start and an end time and a start and end amount, and then I go back to normal. So I have maybe once every weekend or once every other weekend a treat, because yeah, I do want to enjoy a little bit of my life, but I want to tell you that when I choose those things, it's not because I'm like desperately craving them. It's because maybe I'm going out and I want to enjoy, a slice of cake. But there's not that whole like treat meal, reward day mentality where, you have that on during the week, off during the weekend mentality. So that's the brain chatter. The last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm going to tell you, I didn't think this was a thing, but it is a thing. My food and sugar cravings are completely gone. Completely gone. And I'm going to tell you, when I first cut out sugar and flour, it was not easy. I had lightheadedness, I had grumpiness, I had moodiness, I was dehydrated, so I needed to drink lots of water. I was cranky and I caved a whole bunch of times, because those first couple weeks, your body is literally going through withdrawal. But once you make it through that, it is amazing how little you care for. Like, I can probably say it's been like 6 months since I thought, I really want pasta, or I really want a piece of bread, or maybe I just really want, no, it's gone. It is gone. There are no sugar cravings. And I gotta tell you, I know if you are someone who experiences really vibrant cravings right now, it might be completely impossible to imagine what that would feel like to desire your favorite treat. So picture what it is right now. Is it ice cream? Is it cookies? Or is it glacé raisins? So what is that treat for you? And I want you to picture it sitting there on the table. And I want you to picture sitting by that a cooked chicken breast. Or if you're vegetarian or vegan, how about some tofu? Your desire for those two things when you are hungry is the same. Could you imagine a life where that's possible? Where the craving for the chicken breast, you are starving. You've gone maybe a really long time without a meal. You're ready to sit down and eat, and you equally crave the chicken breast as you do your favorite treat. And I remember thinking, that's not possible. How could that be possible? But I tell you, when you get rid of your cravings and you cut sugar and flour out, that is a very real reality that I experience on a regular basis. I mean, it puts you so much in control of your choices, because you are not at the, you're not at the mercy of food urges and food cravings and jumping straight from, I need that, to eating it. You are making intelligent choices that further fuel this lifestyle you're in. So when I say to you, cut out sugar and flour, what does that bring up for you? What feelings and thoughts? Is it apprehension or nervousness or hell no? What does it bring up for you? And then I want you to ask yourself, why is it bringing that up? What are you nervous or scared might happen if you do it? What is the worst thing that could happen? Because I want to tell you what the worst thing that can happen is. You'll have a struggle with your cravings. You'll end up eating the food, and you will be right where you are. And that might be totally okay. But eating sugar and flour. So the worst thing that can happen is that you don't enjoy it or don't like it, and you end up doing right what you're doing right now. But what would happen if you did do it? And what would happen if it was amazing and you ate way better effortlessly? You had your ideal body composition without even trying. And if you're trying to lose body fat, if it just drops off. What if that chatter and that arguing with yourself in your head quieted? And what happened if your favorite treat and a chicken breast are sitting there on the table together and you genuinely have no preference, because the desire you have for that junk food that we know, I'm talking to you, we know that food isn't doing you any good. It's not doing your health any good. It's not doing your waistline any good. Yeah, it tastes good, but beyond that, it's not doing anything for you. So then you ask yourself, what would it feel like to be in a life and a body which you were in love with and you were happy with and you weren't at the mercy of cravings? What might that be like? And then here's my challenge to you. If that sounds like something you are like, I am in, sign me up, I challenge you. It's Monday today. Take this week, cut out the sugar and flour, and then don't get freaked out when it's hard, because it is hard. I'm going to tell you right now it's hard. But if you're expecting that to be hard, and you are ready for those challenges as they come up, and you are ready to be stronger than that and see what happens on the other side, I can promise you, you're going to blow your own mind too. And like I said, this is the book that kickstarted everything. Gary Taubes, Why We Get Fat and What to Do About It. I mean, this was just the beginning of the amount of research that I've done, personal testing, work with clients that are all dropping, 15, 20, 30, 40 pounds. And I would love that for you. I would love that kind of success for you. So, this week, no sugar, no flour. Are you up? Are you game? If you are, tell me I'm in the comments. If this is something that you know needs to be done in your life, I would be honored if you would send me a message and we can work together in a one-on-one capacity where I can coach you through in a 3-month program. It's 12 weeks, me and you together working on getting you into the life you want to be in. It's called Body Smart. It's a program that I run. You can check it out, TanessaShears.com/Body Smart. If that sounds like something that's amazing and a perfect fit in your life, I'd be so excited to get together. Sign me up. Yes, well, definitely, right? Let's get into this. Let's get into the life we love. I love having you guys here. Thank you for taking the time again to always hang out with me during the week when I love to talk to you about what lights me up. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time.